Hey everyone, today we are going to be going a bit light with the comedy for this video. I feel like it could be in bad taste and probably foreshadowing of my own future if I make fun of the subject today. So, if you happen to really want something more upbeat and less depressing, check out some of my other videos or literally any other YouTuber. I'm sure they're going to give you a nice big laugh. But today, this one is going to be a bit heavy and real. So, I've been waiting to make this video for a while now, and I mean a while. I've never made it because I felt like it could be disrespectful or incomplete without all the facts, and the only reason I'm making this video now is because I feel like Raja's time with TF2 could be a valuable lesson to aspiring TF2 content creators. This is not the concrete storyline of what happened, but rather from an outsider's perspective. I do encourage you to do your own research and find out where you stand on this topic if you are truly interested. This is from my own personal perspective, and some of the speculation is heavily dependent upon the fact that I witnessed this rather than experienced it. Now, with all that said and out of the way, let's dive in. So, King Raja was a TF2 YouTuber who gained a rather large following by creating this foreign voice and pretending to be a Zimbabwean king.
The best policy is to make a profit. So right here, we're going to sell something to this guy. Would you like to buy high speed, sir? Would you like a bonus? This guy definitely does. As you can see, that is what I like to call double commission.
His videos have this old school TF2 comedy vibe to them that was very reminiscent of Jarma 985's character type videos. So if you like that style and you haven't seen King Raja, I recommend binging all his videos at some point. Now all this is fine and dandy, a rather small yet successful comedic TF2 gameplay channel. Nothing too absurd here. But what I find interesting in Stapler's case, that's King Raja's creator, Woods Stapler, is that his success wasn't built around him, it was built around his alter ego, King Raja. Around 2 years into his channel's lifetime, going off the history of the videos available to the public, he started to realize this. Now, I distinctly remember some of his videos here and there that featured his actual face with his normal voice in an effort to show that he's more than just Raja, which he is. But unlike his Raja content, these videos were not greeted with massive popularity. Now, this was the first instance, for me, that showed something more than a content creator. When I first saw this, it made me realize that there was a man behind the crown, a person who has hobbies, fears, and instincts. He knew that if he didn't integrate something to ground himself into the success he's made with his character, all the progress would likely belong to this fictional creation rather than his own talents. You can see this effect on other content creators that got popular from a character, like the angry video game nerd, Boogie, and the nostalgia critic. While these characters were great, and I personally enjoyed watching all of them, the creators of their respective characters never really hit it as hard as their character did. I believe Stapler was smart enough to realize this, and he actually talked about this in his second channel.
One thing that I really do not enjoy is not being myself. I love who I am, I love myself, and I love being myself. I don't like pretending to be something I'm not. But again, it's a character that I made, and I chose the path of not continuing the Stapler franchise and instead moving into a completely different stand-up character routine. And it's clearly working, and I really appreciate all the love I'm getting for that. But at the same time, though, I really just want to be myself sometimes. Most of the times, people always ask me to do King Raja impressions on any server I go into. They're like, King Raja, can you talk like this? Can you say this joke? Can you do this? And it becomes very exhausting because I can never truly be who I want to be. I always have to become my creation, as if my creation is overshadowing me.
So, in an effort to share the fame, if you will, he started to produce more content featuring his actual voice and, like I said earlier, his physical face. I totally get this, I've actually been doing the same thing as well, which, don't get me wrong, this isn't a bad thing. Hell, even Hollywood stars do this type of technique, usually in the form of spin-off shows or using the credit attached to their name to give them a one-up in capturing an audience. But this little adjustment to the content didn't really slow views down, nor channel growth, at least not from what I can see. No. What started Raja on the path he was on was his most popular video of all time, his MatPat Ass Blast. Now during this time, MatPat just released a video comparing Overwatch to TF2, and most of the facts included in the video were complete BS.
TF2 just has more modes to pick from. That includes Team Deathmatch.
So, like any other major community member at the time, he saw this as a big opportunity to gain a lot of popularity by trashing MatPat. People like hate and negativity, what can I say? So Raja did a video on this and it exploded. To this day, it is his most popular video, only followed up by a video with a thumbnail of Muzalk, Uncle Dane, and a Race 7. So it was pretty damn popular. And like any other YouTuber with half a brain, you gotta make a follow-up video to get those views in and really capitalize on the popularity. After all, if he was able to get popular for roasting other YouTubers, that could be a way to introduce himself into his videos, while slowing down the amount of presence his character had in them. However, here in and of itself lies a problem. He made a few things directly related to MatPat's videos, like ass-blasting fanboy comments, but soon then after he realized that drama gets a lot of views. So, he then followed this up by exposing some of the most popular TF2bers at the time, Delphi and Nisilt. This video has since been removed alongside majority of his content, including the video where he addresses his mistakes, but lucky for us, r/TF2 has captured some quotes and other people's reactions to said video. The basic rundown of the video was that he was critiquing Nisilt for making money off other people's clips and criticizing Delphi for making the game worse, rather than fixing bugs like he claims to do. Now, the latter some of you may agree with, but I find very few people believed that Nisilt was a greedy person by any means. So, regardless to say, Stapler got a ton of backlash for this, and after a brief period of silence, he made an apology video where he stated he was doing it for the money, and went a tad bit power hungry. I believe he ended up donating the money he earned from those videos to charity and unlisted the Nisilt ass blast. If my memory serves me right, I think he was even disgusted by the state of his channel at the time. I could be completely wrong here, and since there's no evidence for me to back this up, we're going completely off my memory. But I believe he hated the fact that he was now known for drama. Afterwards, I think he made a few more ass blasts. However, if he did, they're unlisted, so it's kinda hard to tell what happened during this time period. But at that point, the damage had already been done. Videos that would get 100,000 views would start getting like 60,000. Not to mention his Overwatch content would get a fraction of his previous views. Hey, that sounds like me. Fuck. Then his final video that is still up to this day, The Community vs. Valve, which talks about comp and casual. Pretty good video in my opinion, but not a finale or anything. And then poof, he's gone. Asking around to the community for his whereabouts has generally led me to the same reaction. Who dat? He did pop up for an interview with the Critscast talking about rejoining the TF2 community at some point, which is a fantastic podcast by the way, highly recommend you check it out. But that's kind of it. He hasn't tweeted since the interview, and I haven't been able to find any other King Raja nor Wounded Stapler content anywhere. Ultimately, I doubt this video will have any effect on anything. Stapler will probably stay retired, you guys will probably forget about Raja again, and my own influence will surely dwindle until depletion. But I felt like I owed the guy, because while Raja was going through all this stuff, I was sitting on the sidelines getting nice and cozy with the TF community, unprepared to face the harsh realities of my own inevitable demise. He was fading off while I was getting attention like a whore, and now that it seems like no one knows this story, I should do what I can to pass it on to the few of you who are actually watching this. Perhaps he was corrupted by greed, or perhaps he was corrupted by fame. I don't really know, but something caused his downfall. But does this one shitty action dictate his entire personality as horrible? I'll leave that for you to decide. I'm Ryder, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, have a swell rest of your day. Adios.